Hey fellow collectors, today we're entering Welcome Back Comics pre-sale event. It's really cold out. It's a little comic store down in Jersey. Hopefully we find some good stuff. We gotta get inside. It is freezing out today. See you later.
Hey, today we're going to be looking at all of the comics that Chad got at the Welcome Back Comics and Quick Sale event. What is that?
So, I know a lot of people know what conventions are. So what a big convention is, New York Comic Con, even some of the smaller ones, New Jersey has them all the time. What this one was it's two comic stores come together and they're selling some of their overstock. Zap Comics does it once a year. Jim Hanley's Universe has done it the last 2 times a year. This is two comic stores come together down in North Jersey, and they have tons and tons and tons of comics that they just can't sell, and they sell for really cheap. Most of these were either 50 cents or $1. So we're going to be plowing through 93 comics. 93. Yes, Brian. 93. Okay. So let's get started. First comic we have, Battlestar Galactica #1. From March 1979. This one is a Whitman variant. You can tell that because of the diamond here. By this time, Marvel Comics was not using the diamond tag.
I had the Marvel one, and sorry, I remember on it had like a little explosion graphic that said "still only 25 cents."
How about you explain what Battlestar Galactica is?
Oh, okay, yeah. If you don't know Battlestar Galactica, I'm sorry. Battlestar Galactica was a television show developed by Glenn Larson, right? Was Glenn Larson? Who also did Buck Rogers?
I have no idea.
I think so.
But I think so. 1970s.
Yeah. Yes, and it was basically a Star Wars ripoff.
Back when
that was on television. Lads. We loved it. We loved it when it was on. I'm not so sure it holds up now, the original series, but they did do a great reboot early in the 21st century. Yes. That was absolutely amazing.
If you are in your late 40s or early 50s, you definitely put your voice to your fan and pretend to be a Cylon Raider at some point in your life.
Without a doubt.
Never.
Without a doubt.
I still do today. Next one. Giant Size Avengers Invaders from April 2008.
That looks very familiar.
It does it not? It is a homage to Avengers #71, which we looked at in a previous video. This reprints Avengers #71 and reprints some of the Invaders issues. The art is by Sal Buscema. Written by Roy Thomas.
Nice.
It looks exactly like the other cover.
Yeah, I was going to say the cover's almost identical.
Bought a whole bunch of Captain Adams. This is Captain Adam #12. This is a minor key. It's the first appearance of Major Force from December 1987. Written by Carrie Bates with art by Pat Broderick. So that's number 12.
Good looking cover.
Number 14.
Nice.
Number 15. Number 17.
Loving that because it features one of my favorite characters, Swamp Thing.
Number 18. I am trying to complete this run. I'm currently trying to complete runs of all the early 90s DC comics that tie into Justice League International or Justice League Europe.
Blue Beetle.
Number 20. This one is pretty interesting. I know it goes back to something Brian talked about last time we here. Captain Atom and Blue Beetle were both originally Carlton Comics. That's what they looked like in Carlton Comics. This is what they look like in DC Comics. DC acquired the rights to them in 1983, and the first appearance of the Blue Beetle was in the Crisis of Infinite Earths.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Captain Atom was the basis
21.
for Dr. Manhattan. Fairly certain.
22. I think you're absolutely positive. That's exactly. 23. So I bought a lot of Captain Atom. Captain Atom was the She-Hulk of this episode. Final Crisis Superman, written by Grant Morrison.
I like most of Grant Morrison's work.
January 2009. Final Crisis sketchbook. This thing's pretty cool. It has a bunch of sketches in it from the actual series, like some planned art, what they were going to use. Some of it they used, some of it they didn't use. It has a lot more background information, so it's like a behind the scenes of the preparation for Final Crisis. It looks at all the different characters that appear in Final Crisis. We can look at some of the pages as we're standing here. They, look really nice. Look at the art on there. Looks absolutely fantastic. What do you think, Brian?
I like it. I don't know if I've read Final Crisis.
I haven't read it yet either.
I know it's it's out there. It's been out there for a while.
Yeah, it has
I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I
2009. I think.
Sometimes with DC, I have a little trouble keeping my crisis straight.
There's so many.
There's many.
Every 10 years there's a crisis.
Yes.
Omega Men #1.
Now.
April 1983.
Was it Omega Men that introduced Lobo?
Right there. If you look behind us, that's First Prince Lobo right there.
There he
Omega
is.
Man #3. I just bought that. I bought that about 2 months ago, so I decided I'm going to get the whole series. This is issue 1, written by Roger Sliffer, pencils by Keith Giffen. I love Keith Giffen's work.
Yeah, he's great. He ended up doing a lot of work with
a lot of the Justice League International, and then did a lot of Lobo. He did at one point. He was doing tons of work for DC Comics. New Gods #1. This reprints Jack Kirby's original New Gods 1 and 2. Kirby's the writer and the artist on this. Today, actually, as we record this, is the 29th anniversary of Jack Kirby's death.
Yeah, and that was sort of the beginning of his whole Fourth World saga,
fantastic
which was
time.
this really ambitious, unbelievable thing that he did for comic books.
Batman
if you get a chance to look it up, it's really good.
Christmas with the Superheroes.
There we go.
It's from 1988. It has stories by Frank Miller, art by Jose Luis Garcia and Neil Adams.
Nice.
Batman has two stories. The Justice League has a story. The Teen Titans have a story. Legion of Superheroes have a story. And Superman has a story. Of course, Batman had that too.
It's a great time period for DC too, in 1988.
It sure is.
Yeah, it really is.
This goes back to something we talked about recently while we were down here. DC's Primal Age.
Yeah, that's right.
January 2019. Written by Jerry Ordwell. Marv Wolfman actually contributed a story. It was only sold at Target. Target had the rights to all that toy line. At some point, we're going to look at that toy line down the road.
Yeah, that's a pretty. They sort of like master of the universe. The
I don't
DC
know why they would fit right in if you're playing with toys. If you're an 8-year-old kid at this point, they fit perfectly with your Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Thunderstrike #1, August 1993.
Tom DeFalco.
Written by Tom DeFalco, nice. Art by Ron Frez. This actually, again, this was 50 cents. For 50 cents for this is fantastic. This is a score for me for 50 cents. It's a story of Thor after he was Thor. These are phenomenal. I can't believe that these were in the 50 cents bin. It's Peach Momoko. It's variant covers. She did a whole bunch of different ones. I bought 2 of them. I bought this one. I'll tell a story about Peach Momoko. Here's a Daredevil one. Peach Momoko was at this year's New York Comic Con, and they had a little bit of an issue with her. The vendors were lining up before anyone got in, and they were lining like 20, 30 people deep, and they were like crowding her. So she decided that she wasn't going to do anything signed for the vendors anymore. She was only going to sign for the fans.
Nice. Cool.
King in Black. I love the series. This is a variant of #1.
Yeah,
absolutely
like
fantastic story. Has to do a lot with Venom and Null the Conqueror, who is another one. This is Web of Venom, Empyres End. It's the coming of Null.
Cool cover.
Null is coming. Nice and
Very
simple, right?
And
I like that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Venom #27. It's the first appearance of Codex. Codex is Eddie Brock's son from the future.
Nice.
Another good cover.
Yeah, that is good.
This one takes a minute to explain. Justice League of America #1. This came out a couple of years ago. They did a cover with every single flag from the States.
Oh.
Right? This is a WonderCon exclusive, so they had the American flag, and they did all the states, and then they did some exclusives from different conventions. I'm trying to collect every single one. I think I'm missing like 9 right now. I usually find them in the dollar box.
Some of the states.
I have a ton of them. We can do a whole episode on it.
Yeah.
Thor 385, August 1987. This one is interesting because it's from 1987 and it's written by Stan Lee. Art is by Eric Larson. Stan Lee writing in 1987 is a little bit late. It's the whole entire story is just Thor fighting the Hulk.
That's early for Eric Larson.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd pick this up again.
Very
$1.
nice.
This one for $1. How could I pass it up? Badger #1.
Oh yeah.
It's the first appearance of Badger. Badger is written and created by Mike Barron. I love his work. He worked on the Flash in the late 1980s with Wally West. This character is has mental issues.
Yes, there's. I noticed.
He's a Vietnam vet.
He shows up in.
He has multiple personalities.
He shows up in a comic I've got somewhere.
And I think Mike,
a different company.
I think Mike Barron is still writing it too.
Not Capital, but I think it was Epic or Dark Horse or I don't remember.
He owns the rights to it, so it's
whatever
it's
company
creator
he goes
owned.
to.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's creator owned by Mike Barron, who's a really nice guy. I've met him a couple of times. He signed some comics with me. This is a really, again, for $1, how could I say no to that?
Yeah,
I saw them online. They were selling for $50, $60. X-Men 197. Chris Claremont, that's a John Romita Jr. cover.
There you go.
August 1984.
Prime Claremont.
X-Men 189, same thing. Claremont and Romita. X-Men 227, it's a Mark Silvestri art, not Romita.
Love Mark Silvestri.
Me too. This is an early Mark Silvestri. X-Men Annual, #8. I did a whole bunch of X-Men and Mutant ones. Alpha Flight 39, trying to complete the whole run. In this one, Alpha Flight meets the Avengers.
Alpha Flight was one of those comics that I always liked when I was younger.
Alpha Flight 43.
But nobody else seemed to like it.
I did. Always
Yeah,
have. Alpha Flight 50.
I like the advertisement on the back.
It was a big event. They actually got married at Shea Stadium.
Nice. Oh, so 90s.
X-Men 2099 #1. The pencil by Ron Lim. This is the first appearance of the X-Men 2099. Again, this was 50 cents. How could I say no?
Right.
Magik #1. This is the first appearance of Magik, written by Chris Claremont, December 1983. Magik's a character that I like. She's in the
New Mutants
movie. So she may show up in Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
It's a cool character. Long Shot 2. Arthur Adams art. Love his art. Trying to put this whole run together.
I just read that miniseries, actually.
Really?
Yeah, not too long ago.
New Warriors.
I like anything dealing with Mojo.
Really?
Yeah. So the Mojo verse. Mojo is this sort of like totalitarian ruler in another dimension that's ruled by television ratings.
Put a picture of him right there.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
New Warriors 26. Again, another series that I've been trying to complete. I really enjoyed this when it first came out. Mark Bagley art, if I remember correctly.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, Mark Bagley's good.
27.
Mark Bagley did some great stuff with Spider-Man.
He certainly did. 28. That bleeds into the New Warriors too. You see Spider-Man appearing a lot. 29. 30. I like Speedball too. Always found him very interesting.
Yeah.
31. And then we jump to 45. And Annual #2.
Nice. Some good pickups.
I did a lot of buying. Let's keep going. I know how I love the Ultimates. Ultimate 6 #2.
I'm written by Brian Michael Bendis.
I had #1. I bought #2. I had #3 and 4. I bought #5. And I completed the series. Some more on 2099. 2099 Unlimited #1. It's the first appearance of the Hulk. 2099. It's from May of 1993.
Which is a character I'd like to actually see more of.
Yeah, how would we do that at this
Hulk
point?
2099? I don't know.
#2.
I don't mean in the movies. I just mean like, let's get some more scary Hulk out
#3.
there.
Bought the whole series. That cost me $3. Ultimate Origins #1. August 2008. This is a Wizard World exclusive. Very hard to find.
Nice.
It's a homage to Captain America Annual #8.
Yeah, which has a very similar cover. Yeah, I remember that.
Wolverine cutting Captain America thing. You know, I collect Cloak and Dagger 7. The Mutant Misadventures of Cloak and Dagger.
They face off against
13.
Doctor Doom in that?
At some point.
Short fight.
One of my favorite artists is Scotty Young.
Oh,
and
Scotty Young.
John Tyler Christopher. This is a combination of John Tyler Christopher, who draws the action figures, and Scotty Young, who draws the heroes as children. Fantastic Four, 536. It's a Civil War one.
Good storyline.
Great storyline. Civil War crossover and everything. 645. This is a variant cover. Fantastic Marvel Action Hour #1. I honestly had no idea what this was. What Marvel Action Hour? Do you have any idea what Marvel Action Hour?
Never heard of it.
It's based on the Marvel Action Hour animated series, which ran from 1994 to 1996. It was cartoons of Iron Man and Fantastic Four. It ran in New York, where we are. It ran in WPIX Channel 11. It also had cartoons in there of biker mice from Mars.
I remember that briefly. I remember the existence of that briefly.
I don't recall these. I was going to go on and look up to see if I could actually find them somewhere and maybe watch a couple.
Yeah.
And now, more Marvel action on the Marvel Action Hour, featuring fabulous tales of the Fantastic Four, starring Reed Richards as Mr. Fantastic, Sue Richards as the Invisible Woman, Johnny Storm as the Human Torch, and everybody's favorite ever-loving blue-eyed thing, Benjamin J. Grimm. And now, Mr. Marvel himself, Stan Lee.
Biker Mice from Mars got a, it was like at the end of the Ninja Turtles run, where they tried to like shoot a lot of different
different animals of that, because it was popular at that point.
Yeah.
The last Fantastic Four story, another issue written by Stan Lee. This is from October 2007, so
That's
a very, very late
Yeah.
Stan Lee. Art by John Romita Jr.
Awesome.
The official Marvel Index to Fantastic Four. I love these. It gives you It gives you backstories on the actual story. So it will list like 10 or 15 stories from the past, and you can like use it for information purposes.
Nice.
Fantastic Four Unlimited #3. Fantastic Four Unlimited #5. Fantastic Four Unlimited #6. Fantastic Four, I believe it's Series 4, #2.
Got a Jim Lee art there, right?
Yes, Jim Lee art. Written, I think it's written and art by Jim Lee.
Can't go wrong.
Fantastic Four #1. I actually, one of my favorite types of covers this is a weird one. I love infinite covers. So if the comic character's reading the comic on the thing, you see it over and over throughout the whole thing. I love infinite covers.
Meta covers.
If you look behind me, that comes from an infinite cover also.
I have that somewhere. That issue.
Fantastic Four #1. Not the original one, because it'd be worth a...
No,
I wouldn't get that in a dollar bin. This one's an interesting one.
I like it's marked. It's not for resale.
It's Fantastic Four #60, but this comes from the Marvel Legends figure. It's Mr. Fantastic's Marvel Legend figure.
Nice.
So it only comes with the figure. Again, hard to find. Got it for 50 cents. Here's the one I know Brian's going to love. Lost Boys, Reign of the Frogs.
Nice.
Issue #1.
That is great.
Issue #2.
Look at these covers. They're fantastic.
Issue #3.
Lost Boys is the
Issue
1988
#4.
classic vampire
Classic.
movie.
That's what you're calling it? It's the greatest movie ever made. The single greatest movie ever made is The Lost Boys. I have been saying this to my family for years. It is by far the best movie ever made.
Unless Shaun of the Dead is on.
Unless Shaun of the Dead is the second best. So if you do a double feature of Lost Boys and Shaun of the Dead, I'm in heaven. The reason why I say it's the best movie is we don't get the vampire we have today if it's not for the Lost Boys. The Lost Boys changes the vampire game, makes them more modern. They're not these slow-moving Dracula creatures anymore. They're these hipsters who just, live life the way they want it to the fullest. Love the Lost Boys. Fool Killer #3. Another series that I had when I was a kid. Loved it. Figured I'd start putting it back together.
I don't know the series that well.
Fool Killer #4. Fool Killer #6. Fool Killer #8.
With Spider-Man.
And there's the Flash. Flash #1. I have probably about 10 or 12 copies of this.
You must have tons of these.
What I do with these is I take these and I mail them to, or I get at conventions, the people that have played the Flash or voiced the Flash. I have about 5 or 6 of them signed by actors who have actually played the Flash.
If you like the Flash, check out this Rebirth series because the art and writing by Francis
But for
Manapul.
$1.
Francis Manapul and Bucaletta, just so good. So good.
This is a great series.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. This is Torch #5.
You get a certificate of authenticity in there.
It's got a certificate of authenticity in there.
Nice.
It's a Dynamic Forces issue. These things go for big money. There's only 299 made, which is a really low number for any comic. This was in the 50-cent bin. So if you think there's no, I don't know. The only reason why I bought it. Why do you think? Why do you think I bought it?
Well, because that cover.
Who's on the cover?
Well, Submariner.
It's the Invaders.
Yeah, right.
So it's 2 of the Invaders. So I said, oh, it's Invaders cover. No idea what it was. Pulled it out. I was like, oh, look at what the heck? And then I had to buy it again.
You didn't point it out to the person selling it?
No, I did not. Not my problem. Super Friends 38, another book. These books sell for good money. There are 2 TV shows that have made me a comic book collector in my life. The Super Friends is one. The other one is Batman. I am not the person I am without those 2 TV shows.
So you know who's to blame.
I'm the only person in the world who collects this right now. Arion, I'm trying to finish the whole series. 23, 24.
It's a sword and sorcery book.
25. I just buy things I don't really know why.
Is this an early 80s sword and
early 80s sword and sorcery book.
So along with things like The Warlord.
Yes.
Which if you
Warlord's great.
Check out Warlord. Warlord's really good if you can get old copies of it. Great stuff. Dreadstar.
Then it was very popular at that time.
Old stuff like
Swords
that.
And sorcery.
Sword and sorcery. Because of Conan the Barbarian.
Here's another one that was rare. Task Force C #2. It's a comic shop one. Hard to find. Nice red cover there. Titans #1. Had to buy it. Has a flash cover.
Nice.
Marvel Onslaught #1.
Onslaught is a villain, right?
Yeah, so it was a whole series about him. And then this one I thought you would absolutely love. And it's perfect timing.
Yep, I dig it.
Comic interviews with Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
Perfect. I had no idea that this was today was the day that Jack Kirby passed. So we're recording this. You know, you're watching a little bit after we record it. And who's that guy right next to him?
Let me see. Oh, it's Bob Newhart. Very nice.
Not sure why Bob Newhart's standing with him. Jack Kirby, Bob Newhart. If you are younger and you're watching this video, I hope some young people watch it, and you don't know who Jack Kirby is, look him up right now. Jack Kirby shapes the way comic book art is, still to this day.
Yeah, true, completely revolutionary way of doing things. Really, absolutely amazing. And Bob Newhart's fun.
And that's 93 comics in 20 minutes. What's left? Gotta have gifts for Brian.
Gifts! Oh, more gifts!
Losers #1.
Love Losers.
Not that I see that Brian's a loser, but I know he likes this. And Micronauts King Size #1.
No way! How did you get that?
In the 50-cent bin.
No way! Okay. I am a tremendous fan of Micronauts. I had a lot of issues with this when I was younger. I don't know what happened to them, but this was an absolutely great
He has a lot of issues now, but they're not comic related.
I
thought you'd love it.
Yeah, thank you. That's amazing.
See?
Really cool.
If you enjoy our videos, which I hope that you do, I just want to first thank all those that have subscribed already. You guys are showing us some love already. Thank you. So please like and subscribe to this video. Like and subscribe. Comment.
I think it's like
and subscribe. I do it. I edit. Please leave a comment too. We'd love to hear from you guys. Brian's still looking for people to be on the show. We got about 8 or 9 people who said they would love to be.
So people look like they're really looking forward to showing off their stuff.
So future episodes will definitely be containing some of our Collectors Confessions family, which seems to be growing by the minute right now, which is awesome. You know how I end these videos, Brian, right?
Collect what you love.
And love what you collect. See you next time.